For this week's video, my plan was to take you on a tour of my shop where I showed you all the tools that I've bought, the layout of everything, and why I made the choices that I made. But I changed my mind. Instead of assuming that you're interested in everything in my shop, why don't I just talk about the things I know you're interested in? You see, every week I get asked questions about specific elements in my shop, and a lot of the time it's the same question over and over again. So I've decided to dedicate this week's video to answering the most common questions I get about my shop. And stick around to the end where I talk about how much my shop has cost me so far. So starting off with an easy one, question number one is, how big is your shop? My shop measures 29 feet wide by 26 feet deep, which is a great size for any amateur or hobbyist woodworker, but by far the best thing about it is its 11-foot ceiling height. Question number two, and by far one of the most popular questions I get asked, is how did I build my miter saw station? All this consists of is 8 individual filing cabinets that I got used off of Facebook Marketplace, and I just built a cabinet carcass around each filing cabinet. These center dividers are actually only about 4 inches deep, just to save on plywood, and that's about it. These all can slide in and out if I want to take them out or do anything else in these areas, but pretty simple build. And if you want to see more about it, my Instagram has the build process documented pretty well. I didn't do a video on this one, but I did do a video on how I made these tops, and that's where I get a lot of those questions. And question number three also pertains to these. People ask, what is the brand of these? What kind of cabinets are these? These are a filing cabinet that you would probably find in like an office building. I got them secondhand from an office that closed, and I have no idea what brand they are. I've looked on them everywhere, and there is no brand. You can find things similar to them on Amazon and things like that, but I have yet to find these exact ones, so sorry. And if you're wondering, I got them for 40 bucks each. Number four is people asking about the base of my assembly table. And what I have here are 2 different base kits from Rockler, which you can build all different kinds of bases, different sizes. It comes with different pieces and parts for different heights, widths, and depths, and you can make really any type of base that you want. I went with a 36 by 36 and a 36 by 36 with the plans to build inside of them, build out some cabinetry within the frame. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Question number 5, and one that also pertains to my assembly table, is what is the top made out of? This is just a cheap piece of particle board that has a cheap layer of laminate on it. This was kind of a throw it together assembly table. I got the bases that I could put together really quick, slap this top on there, and it's been a really good assembly table so far. This top will need to be replaced pretty soon. It's getting pretty beat up, and I want to replace it with something similar to what I did on my miter saw station, because I really like those, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to do dog holes or do more of the match fit system, so hopefully that'll be coming very soon. Number 6, and a really popular question, is how did I insulate my garage doors? And this one's really easy. All you need is some rigid foam from any of your big box stores like Lowe's or Home Depot. They sell this, and get the thickest one you can that will fit inside of your door panel. Cut it to the right size, and they really just pop in there, and most garage doors have these little recesses where it'll stay, and it just helps hold in a little bit more of that heat if you're in a colder climate like I am in Michigan. It's just a great way to insulate your door and make your shop a little more comfortable. Question number 7, and my favorite one on this list, is how do I suspend my dust extraction hose? You'll see in a lot of my build videos when I'm using a track saw, a router, or a domino, or even the sander, I have them all hooked up to my dust extractor. But sometimes this can be really annoying if the hose is getting hooked on things, or you're trying to make a cut and the hose is catching or adding some sort of resistance to whatever you're doing. And I found that the best way to get around that is to hang it from the ceiling. But you can't just hang it with anything, because you're gonna run into the exact same problem that if you run out of hose, then you're gonna get caught up again. It's gonna add some resistance to whatever you're doing. So the best way that I have found is with a retractable keychain and this bungee cord. The retractable keychain allows it to go up and down, and it has a specific weight to where it'll stay where it's at, and if I wanna move it back up, it'll keep it where it's at. And the bungee cord just allows it to hook up to the hose a little bit easier, and also add a little bit of rebound when you're making small movements or anything like that. The goal is to just basically make this feel weightless and give you enough when you need it, and then retract it when you don't need it. And if you're interested in getting one of these retractable keychains that I have on here, I will link it down in the description below, along with anything else that you'll see in this video. And number 8, the last one on the list, and one that I know you guys are curious about, is how much I've spent on my shop to this point. But before I share the number, I just want to say I'm not sharing this to brag or boast about what I have or how much I've spent on my shop. I just want to be transparent with you guys and help anybody out there that also wants to build a wood shop like this understand the costs behind it. So at this point, what I've spent in total on my shop from tools to supplies is just north of $20,000. And this includes everything from sandpaper and saw blades to my table saw and jointer. I've kept a very diligent list of everything I've purchased over the last 3 years. And to some of you, this may seem like an insanely high number, and some of you it probably seems like not that much at all. But this is my hobby. I love doing it. I also do it on the side to make a little bit of extra money, whether it be on my own home renovations or doing some things for other people. And that's it for this one. Hopefully I answered some questions that you may have had about my shop. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to address them in a future video. But until next time, I'm Jordan. This is Everyday Builds. Thanks for watching.